Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the psych coach, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to study for exams effectively. If you can study for exams effectively, it means you can maximise your ability to retain information when you're revising, and it can also mean you're able to recharge your batteries and stop when you need to, so you're prepared for the following day. If you've got into bad habits with exam prep and you don't think you're very good, don't worry, it's perfectly possible to undo those habits. So listen up for 5 strategies that are guaranteed to optimise your ability to focus and optimise your ability to recharge, which is so important when it comes to exams. Tip number 1 is work out your optimum concentration time. What I mean by that is to work out how long you can concentrate for. Some people are unbelievably able to cope for, 2 hours consistent studying at a time. Other people can manage 15-20 minutes without being able to sort of need a break and stop. So think about what your optimum concentration time is. What you don't want to do is be in the habit of spending 2 hours revising, but actually it's amounting to about half an hour's worth of revision. It's a waste of time, and it's an hour and a half that you could have been spent doing something more productive. So work out how long you can maintain concentration for, because your mind starts wandering. That might change from task to task, and then work according to that time frame. That brings me on to tip number 2, which is to have a cut-off time. So when you've worked out your optimum concentration time, whether that's 20 minutes or half an hour or an hour, work against the clock. When you get to the end and the alarm goes off and you've got your 20 minutes or your hours up, then take 15 minutes off. Chill out, relax, take 15 minutes off, or however long you think you need before you can feel able to start refocusing again. Take that time off, then get back to it against the clock and working for your next 20 minutes, hour, half hour, whatever it is. So have those very set cut-off times so you can start resting. By resting, you're then fueling your ability to refocus. It's far better than just trying to continue studying for hours on end when you're not really paying attention. Tip number 3 is to know when your day will end. Thinking to yourself, well, I'll wake up whenever and I'll just study and keep on going until, I fall asleep, isn't sensible. We're incentivized by having end goals. And so if you think, well, my end for the day of revising is 5 p.m, 6 p.m, 7 p.m, 8 p.m, whatever it is, then it's incentivizing you to keep working up until that point and then take a rest. It is not sensible to just work all the way throughout the day and effectively sort of not be particularly productive, but work until you fall asleep. It's not a sensible way. So know when your end of revision day is, because that will incentivize you to work against the clock in your concentration chunks so you can have your playtime, rest time, whatever you want to call it, chill time. Tip number 4 is to have a healthy mindset. Like so much in life, whether that's sporting accomplishments, ability to perform on stage, performance in exams, how we close deals, our ability to perform is heavily influenced by our mindset. If you go into an exam thinking in catastrophic terms, i.e. it will be absolutely awful if I fail, I won't be able to cope if I fail, if I don't get my first choice, if I don't get my A, B, C, whatever it is, it's going to be awful. What you're doing is you're ramping up your anxiety before you have even started the exam. It's not helpful to go in there being catastrophic. Instead, you need to go into an exam with the healthy mindset of, I really want to do well, I want to get into my college, university, I want to pass, but I can cope if I don't. Now, some of you might think that's a loser's mindset. You can't have that mindset. But what it does is it says, I really, really want to do well. And if I don't, I can cope with it. And that means the desire to do well is just as strong as it would be if you were being catastrophic. But you're telling yourself you can cope if you don't. What happens is that automatically reduces your anxiety levels, because the way we think affects how we feel. And when your anxiety levels are reduced, you perform better. So don't be catastrophic, be healthily positive, but equally recognise that if it doesn't go well, you will be able to cope. Ironically, having that mindset increases your ability to perform. And tip number 5 is to reward yourself. If you've worked against the clock throughout the day, according to your concentration abilities, if you've got through the entire day and you're satisfied with the amount you've done, or even if you're not particularly satisfied, but you've still worked to your capabilities and your revision schedule, you need to reward yourself. Revising is hard. And often, no matter what you do, you've always got that sort of the little thing on your shoulder saying, you could be revising, you could be revising. So if you work according to your capabilities and you've done a hard day's graft, reward yourself in whichever way you think is appropriate, whether that's a treat to eat or something to watch on TV or some music or hanging out with friends. Do it. All of that prepares you for round 2 of studying the following day. If you've enjoyed today's tips, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will give you plenty more strategies on how you can use psychology to improve your day-to-day functioning.